There we go. All right. Thank you so much, Josephine, for coming out again. My name is Cassandra Taylor, and I'm the founder and CEO of Top Flight Defense Incorporated. And we are here to discuss spousal benefits. Yes, so that we can get a better understanding as to what benefits we have as spouses when our loved one passes on. So, without further ado, I would like to bring to you Miss Josephine. All right, Josephine, come on through.
Thank you, Miss Cassandra. Thank you for always inviting us here with you at Top Flight Defense. I appreciate being on. My colleague, Mr. Daniel Summer, he also appreciates being invited to your Facebook Live events. And today I'm going to share information regarding spousal benefits with everyone watching us here today, all of our viewers. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you can see the slideshow that we have in store for you today. As Cassandra mentioned, my name is Josephine Mueller. I am a public affairs specialist with the Social Security Administration. Many of you may be wondering, well, what does a public affairs specialist with the Social Security Administration do? Well, part of my role is to share information regarding Social Security's benefits and programs with the community, with the public. And I am very excited to share information here with you today. When I first started with Social Security, I started off as a claims representative, which is one of the individuals that you will see when you walk into your local Social Security field office. So if you had to apply for retirement benefits, or if you wanted to apply for spousal benefits, Medicare benefits, or a replacement Social Security card, and anything else related to Social Security, I was one of the friendly faces that you would see at your local office. But now I go out and I share information with the community regarding our programs. And I'm super excited to share information with you today here during Top Flight's Facebook Live event. And one of the things that I want to share with you before we dig into spousal benefits here today is that on April 7th, local Social Security offices have added more in-person appointments and have again started offering in-person service for people without an appointment. As we expand in-person service, we strongly encourage you to continue to go online, call us for help, and schedule appointments in advance. So our offices are seeing individuals as walk-ins, so you no longer need an appointment to come into our local office. If you would like to visit the local office, you can do so. However, of course, we do encourage you to call in advance or do any business that you can online with us, because we do anticipate there to be lines, and we want to make sure that you avoid the lines if at all possible. So one of the best ways to do business with us is by going online. So if you go to our website, socialsecurity.gov.gov, this is what you're going to see, our front page. And many of our services that you would see at our local offices, or you would handle at our local offices, can be done online. A lot of information can be found online. Applications for benefits can be done online, and you could do that by visiting our website at socialsecurity.gov.gov. Now, I want to emphasize the .gov, because a lot of times people will go to a website, they'll type in Social Security in the search engine, but there's other sites that are posing as us, but they're not us. They'll have something like .com or something else. That is not us. We are .gov. Always make sure that you put .gov behind our name. And I also want to remind everyone that we don't charge for our services. So we'll never charge you to apply for a replacement Social Security card. We'll never charge you to apply for any type of benefits, and we'll never charge you for information. So if somebody is charging for information or for a service that Social Security has to offer, that is a red flag. We do not do that. Do not go to that website. Do not give them your money to receive services. Go to our website, which is socialsecurity.gov, and obtain those services for free on our website. So another thing I wanted to share with you is, of course, the first way to do business with us is online. If you're not able to do business with us online, we understand that sometimes that does happen where a person may not be able to do business with us online. You can always call us, and you can call us at our national Social Security hotline number, which is 1-800-772-1213. This is our national Social Security hotline number. It may be busy at times and it may be a bit of a wait, but that is our national Social Security hotline number, and you can call us so that way we could go ahead and assist you over the phone. If you are unable to get in contact with us over the phone, you can call the local office and schedule an appointment or walk into the local office. So there's many different ways of doing business with us. Now, if you visit our field office locator, which is at www.ssa.gov/locator, and you enter in your zip code, you're going to find your local office's address. So you'll know which office is your local office, and you'll be able to visit your local office if you need assistance in person. Now, another thing that we like to share is our frequently asked questions section. Now, on our front page, you're going to see a section where it says FAQs right in the front. If you click there, you're going to see some of the most frequently asked questions. I like to share this site because this has a lot of questions that people ask, and it might be a question that you might be wondering, and if you go here, you probably will more than likely find the answer to your question. So I always like to share this because it's got a lot of great information in one area. It's a one-stop shop of information. Our most asked questions under our frequently asked questions section. Now, another great resource that we like to share is our publications. So remember, I mentioned that our information is free. All of it is free. All of this information is free to you. So if you go to our publication section on our page, you're able to look at different information regarding retirement benefits, spousal benefits, Medicare benefits, any type of pamphlet with information that you want to read. It's available to you for free. You can view it via electronic form. You can print it out. You can also request it to be mailed. So lots of free information, great information, all in one area under publications. Now, if you are a busy person on the go and you want to listen to the publication, you also have access to audio, to listening to it. And you just click on our audio button here, and you'll be able to hear the publication via audio. Now, another nice feature in our publication section is that there are other languages available. So if there's another language that you feel more comfortable listening to the information in or viewing the information, please click other languages so that way you can view the information in another language. Now, forms. A lot of times people call us and ask us, well, how do I get a form for a replacement Social Security card? How do I get a form for voluntary withholding so taxes can be withheld out of my benefits? And the answer to that is you can find those forms on the website, on our website at socialsecurity.gov. If you go under the form section on the front page, you'll see that all these forms come up, and you can click on the form that you'd like, and you can print it out in the comfort of your own home. So all of our forms are available for you on our website at socialsecurity.gov. Now, we're going to go ahead, and before we get right into the spousal benefits, let's talk about how we become eligible for these benefits. And the best way to start this is by talking about FICA. What is FICA? Well, FICA is a U.S. federal payroll tax that's deducted from each paycheck. Now, I know when I first started working, I was expecting a certain amount on my paycheck. And when I got my first paycheck, I noticed that there was some money missing, or I miscalculated somehow. But I knew my math wasn't the best, but for some reason I was like, I'm missing some money here. So I put in a complaint to who? Well, my mother. And so she went ahead and she told me, well, you're paying into taxes because later on when you collect retirement benefits, you're going to be collecting those benefits based off of those taxes that you pay into right now. And so I was young, and at that time I was like, well, do I have to do this? Is this something that's mandatory? And yes, it's automatic, she told me. And of course I found out later on, yes, it is truly automatic, and there's nothing, that we're able to do to stop it. It does go automatically come out of your check, but it's a good thing. The total deducted is 7.65%, and your employer matches this for a total of 15.3%. And the reason why it's a good thing is because it helps fund both Social Security and Medicare programs, which provide benefits for individuals who retire, individuals who become disabled, children, benefits for survivors, and benefits for spouses as well. So all of these benefits come from us contributing into these FICA taxes that we contribute into. Now, Social Security determines our benefit based off of the highest 35 years of our work earnings. So these benefits are determined, our benefits are determined based off of what we've worked and paid into Social Security, based off of those FICA taxes, and based off of the highest 35 years of our work earnings. Now let's get into these spousal benefits. Now, spousal benefits, of course, we are with you throughout life's journey, and we're there with you when you get married. We're there for you at your wedding. So let's talk about these spousal benefits. And this slide right here has a lot of information in it. So I like to give an example when I talk about this slide. And in my example, I like to share 3 different scenarios. Now, the first scenario, let's say that I am full retirement age right now. Let's say I'm 66. Let's say that's how old I am right now, 66, and that's my full retirement age. And let's say that my spouse, Mr. Mueller, is also full retirement age. He's 66. And let's say he calls Social Security today and he files for retirement benefits, and he is eligible for $2,000 a month is what Social Security tells him. So he comes home and he tells me, I'm eligible for $2,000 a month, Josephine. I'm so excited. I'm going to be receiving Social Security retirement benefits. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm excited for you. So then I say, well, I'm going to call Social Security because I want to file for benefits now. So I call Social Security and I tell them my situation. Now, I am primarily and have primarily been a homemaker. So I'm not going to have any earnings on my record. And so Social Security looks at my earnings record and they say, oh, Miss Mueller, Josephine, you are not eligible for benefits off of your own record because you didn't pay into Social Security FICA taxes. So I don't have any earnings on my record. So off of my own record, I'm not eligible for anything. However, I am married to Mr. Mueller. Mr. Mueller is collecting $2,000 a month. Social Security told him that, and I know that. So I let Social Security know that my spouse is collecting benefits. Can I collect benefits off of Mr. Mueller's record? And Social Security tells me yes. I am eligible for $1,000 based off of my spouse's record and based off of Mr. Mueller's earnings. I'm full retirement age, so I'm entitled to the full half. So half of his benefit is $1,000 because we said he gets $2,000 a month. Now I come home all excited and I tell Mr. Mueller, honey, I'm excited. I'm going to get half of your benefit. I'm going to get $1,000 a month as a spouse off of your record. So I'm super excited. And so he looks at me and he says, oh, honey, I love you and all, but I don't know if I'm so excited about you getting $1,000 a month off of my record. Is that going to change what I get? I get $2,000 a month. I don't want my benefit to decrease because you're drawing benefits off of my record now. And so he's a little concerned. And he calls Social Security, and Social Security says, oh, Mr. Mueller, you don't have anything to worry about. You are going to continue to receive your $2,000 a month, and your wife Josephine is going to receive her $1,000 a month. You do not have to worry. So I want to draw your attention to the bullet point where it says it does not reduce payment to the worker. Mr. Mueller is the worker. Just because I'm receiving benefits as a spouse off of his record does not mean it reduces payment to him. So many people may be wondering, well, how is that possible? How is that so? Well, when we work and pay into FICA taxes, we work and pay into them not only for ourselves, but for a family. Now, I want to also draw your attention to the bullet point where it says the benefit is 50% of the worker's unreduced benefit. Remember I said I get $1,000 a month. Mr. Mueller's benefit is $2,000. I get half, the full half, because I'm full retirement age. That's what that first bullet point means. The benefit is 50% of the worker's unreduced benefit. Mr. Mueller's benefit is $2,000. I get 50% of his unreduced benefit, which is $1,000 because I'm full retirement age. Now, that's the first scenario. Now let's move on to the second scenario. Now, in the second scenario, let's say, you know what, I'm still full retirement age 66. Mr. Mueller, we're still going to say he's full retirement age 66. And we're going to say he still gets $2,000 per month. That's his benefit from Social Security. But in the second scenario, the difference is going to be that I worked outside of the household. Some, not a lot, but some. So when I call Social Security, this time I am going to be eligible for benefits off of my own record. So Social Security tells me in this situation, the second scenario, that I'm eligible for $500 per month off of my own record. And that's because I did work outside of the household some. So I receive $500 a month off of my own record, which is great. And Mr. Mueller gets $2,000 a month off of his own record. But you see, I'm getting less than what I got in the first scenario. So what happens here is since my benefit is less than half of Mr. Mueller, what Social Security is going to do is they're going to bump me up to his half. So I get $500 off of my own record based off of my own earnings, the FICA taxes that I paid into Social Security. And then I'm going to get $500 as a spouse off of Mr. Mueller's record to bump me up to that half that he receives, that 1,000. So this second scenario, I want to draw your attention to the bullet point where it says, if a spouse's own benefit is less than 50% of the workers, the benefits are combined. So in this second scenario, the benefits have been combined. I received $500 off of my own record and $500 off of Mr. Mueller's record as a spouse to get that $1,000 to put me at that half that he receives. So that's the second scenario. Now, the third scenario, let's just say we're both, Mr. Mueller and I, we're both full retirement age. That's 66 still. He receives $2,000 a month from Social Security still. But in this third scenario, let's say that I worked significantly outside of the household, and I even made more than Mr. Mueller in this third scenario. So my own benefit off of my own Social Security record, based off of my own FICA taxes that I paid into Social Security, is $3,000 per month. That's my own benefit. So my own benefit is $3,000. Mr. Mueller's is $2,000. In this third scenario, my benefit is significantly higher than half of Mr. Mueller's, which is $1,000. I get $3,000 a month. I'm way over. So in this third scenario, I am not eligible for spousal benefits because my own benefit is much greater than what I could receive off of Mr. Mueller's record. And essentially, that is how spousal benefits work. Now, there's different scenarios. It's always important to contact your local Social Security office to find out if you're eligible for benefits or not. So I always encourage people to let Social Security know your scenario, because there's so many different situations, so many different scenarios. Let them know your scenario so Social Security can go ahead and look in to see what you're entitled to. And of course, the benefits is 100% regardless of age if a spouse is caring for a child under the age of 16 or disabled. Now, that's a little bit on spousal benefits, but what about benefits for divorced spouses? Now, benefits for divorced spouses, there's a few differences here. Now, it works similar to benefits that we talked about earlier if you're currently married, but here are some of the differences. If you are a divorced spouse, you do not have to wait for your ex-spouse to draw benefits in order for you to be eligible for benefits. Now, in the last situation where I talked about the three different scenarios where Mr. Mueller and I, we were currently married, he started to get benefits. So that's when I called Social Security, because that's when I was able to receive benefits. Mr. Mueller had to start receiving benefits in order for me to receive benefits as a currently married spouse. However, if we were divorced, I would not have to wait for Mr. Mueller to start receiving benefits. If Mr. Mueller was age 62 and I was age 62 or older, I could start drawing benefits even if he's not collecting benefits at the moment. Now, that is only true if I'm a divorced spouse. If I'm currently married, I have to wait for my spouse to draw benefits in order for me to be eligible. But we understand that as a divorced spouse, you're not always coordinating benefits or coordinating finances. You're not in that situation anymore. So we do not expect you to wait for your ex-spouse to collect benefits in order for you to draw benefits. So that's why as a divorced spouse, you do not have to wait to collect benefits. You don't have to wait for your ex-spouse to collect benefits for you to start collecting. So that's one of the differences. And of course, you must be unmarried. You must be age 62 or older to collect benefits as an ex-spouse. And your ex-spouse is entitled to Social Security retirement or disability benefits So they must be entitled to benefits in the first place in order for you to be eligible for benefits as an ex-spouse. And the benefit you are entitled to receive based on your own work is less than the benefit you would receive based on your ex-spouse's work. So of course, if your benefit, your benefit would have to be less than what you'd be entitled to, what half of your ex-spouse's benefit is. So kind of like the situation scenarios that we talked about in the earlier slide, as a currently married spouse, your benefit would have to be less in order for you to be entitled to benefits as an ex-spouse. And another big factor here in being eligible for benefits as an ex-spouse is that your marriage must have lasted 10 years or more. So you must be able to prove that your marriage lasted 10 years or more in order to be eligible for benefits as an ex-spouse. And Social Security is going to ask to see a certified copy of a divorce decree, so that way we can see the duration of the marriage and we could see that it lasted 10 years or more. Now, if it's a day shy or a day short of 10 years, then that would make a person not eligible for ex-spouse's benefits. So it must be a full 10 years in order to be eligible for benefits as a divorced spouse. So very, very important to note that. Now, Social Security is also there for you if you were to lose a loved one. So let's talk a little bit about survivor's benefits. Now, if you were to pass away, your surviving spouse may, at full retirement age, receive 100% of the deceased worker's unreduced benefit, or at age 60, receive 71.5% of your full benefit, and it increases each month. You wait up to 100% if you start at full retirement age, and you can claim survivor's benefits at any age between 60 and full retirement age. So earlier, when we were talking about spousal benefits, I mentioned that the earliest that you could draw spousal benefits is at age 62. 62 is the earliest that you could start drawing benefits. That's for retirement, that's for spousal benefits. But if you are a surviving spouse, for survivor's benefits can even start earlier at age 60. So they can start 2 years earlier. So if you're a surviving spouse, you can receive benefits as early as age 60. And that benefit that you receive at age 60 would be 71.5%. Now, if you wait to receive your survivor's benefits at full retirement age, then you'll receive 100% of that full benefit of your survivor's benefit. So that's important to keep in mind, and to know that you can receive benefits even earlier if you are a surviving spouse.
Josephine, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
And you might get ready to answer it, but my question is, same requirement for survivor benefits. Do you have to prove how long you have been married?
Yes. So if you're a divorce survivor, if it's for benefits as a survivor, if you're applying for surviving benefits as an ex-spouse, you must prove that the marriage lasted 10 years or more.
No. I'm talking about even if you weren't divorced, but you were married, and then your spouse passed on while you were still married. Do you have to prove 10 years for that as well?
No, if you were currently married and you're a surviving spouse, you do not have to prove 10 years. You just have to have been married 9 months or more.
And you have to be of the age of 60 and older.
Yes, in order to collect monthly survivors benefits, correct. Yes. So survivors benefits is different in that way, where you don't have to prove 10 years of marriage. That's only for divorced surviving spouses.
Okay, so another question.
Sure.
What if you're married and you're in your 40s and your spouse passes away? They weren't in their 60s as of yet. They were still in their 40s. Is there a survivor benefit for that age as well?
So if you are younger than age 60, you are not eligible for survivor's benefits until you are 60, monthly Social Security survivor's benefits until you are 60, unless you are 50 and disabled. If you are a survivor who is age 50 and disabled, you may be eligible for survivor's benefits early. If you are a disabled survivor who is at age 50. Now, there is a one-time lump sum death benefit, which is $255. Now, that benefit may be collected earlier. So if you are a spouse who's young, who's 20, who's 18, who's 19, if you're a surviving spouse who is younger than 50, younger than 60, you may collect the one-time lump sum death benefit of $255 at an earlier age. But the monthly survivor's benefit is the person is eligible for if they are disabled at age 50 or if they are age 60 and they're a survivor. And if the person is younger and they are of any age caring for a child under age 16 or a disabled child, they may be eligible for benefits, survivor's benefits even earlier. But that factor has to be met. They have to be caring for a child under age 16 or a disabled child.
Okay, I promise you this will be the last one. All right, so next scenario, you're both in your 40s, your spouse passes on, right? You never remarry. Now you're 60. Can you then go and apply for, even though you're 20 years late, because now you're of age and your spouse is deceased? Can you apply then because you're of age?
Oh, yes, yes. If your spouse passed away when you were young, say like in your example at age 40, and now you've turned 60, you are eligible for survivor's benefits. So you can start collecting those survivor's benefits at age 60, as long as your spouse was eligible for benefits or paid enough into Social Security for there to be benefits available, then yes, you would be eligible. Keep in mind though, if you are age 60 and you are still working, you're gonna be subject to earnings limits. So you want to keep that in mind, because there are earnings limits for somebody who's receiving Social Security benefits and working at the same time. Now, if you're not working, you're age 60 and you're not working, or you're not, say maybe you're working part-time and you're not earning over the limits, you won't have to worry about anything, but you're going to want to make sure that you find out what those earnings limits are, so that way you know what that threshold is. Because if you are going over the earnings limit, Social Security will reduce that monthly benefit due to the fact that you're earning wages. So yes, you're going to be eligible at age 60 if your spouse, with your scenario, your spouse passed away at age 40 and they paid enough into FICA taxes for you to receive benefits as a survivor, you would be eligible at age 60, but you're going to want to make sure you look to see what those earnings limits are if you are working. Great question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
No problem. That's a great
And
question.
so far, I don't have any questions in the queue yet on Facebook, but I guess if you keep on talking, maybe we'll get some.
Yeah, sounds good. Great questions, Cassandra. Thank you for those. Now, children are also eligible for survivor's benefits. A child may receive benefits if they're not married and are under the age of 18, or under age 19 if still in high school. A disabled child may receive benefits beyond age 18 if they're not married and were found disabled prior to age 22. And a widow, widower, or divorced widow, widower may receive full benefits at full retirement age, or reduced benefits at age 60, or as early as age 50 if disabled, or at any age of caring for a child under age 16 or a disabled child. So going back to the site, we've got lots of information regarding spousal benefits, survivor's benefits on our website. We've got the FAQ section that talks about survivor's benefits, spousal benefits, just lots of great information on there. We even have our blog that talks about all these benefits. So please visit us at our blog. We've got Facebook, we've got YouTube videos, we've got our blog. I do want to share information on our website here that talks about retirement family benefits here. So let me share my screen so that you can see it and you can see what I'm talking about here. So this section right here is benefits for your family. It talks about benefits for your spouse. So lots of great information. And this is on our website at socialsecurity.gov. And this is if you go to our retirement section, you can type in the search engine benefits for your family. This is going to come up. And so it talks about benefits for your spouse and talks about when your spouse can receive benefits. It talks about between age 62 and their full retirement age. Lots of great information here. It talks about benefits for your children and benefits for divorced spouses. And of course, it gives you the criteria. Your marriage must have lasted 10 years or longer. Your lots of information here. How much will your divorced spouse receive? It talks about that information. So just if you're interested, if you would like to read through some of this, we've got lots of info in this one-stop shop area on our website at socialsecurity.gov. And so information you need to apply for spouses, divorced spouses benefits. So lots of online information. So I always like to show everybody where they can find this. And this is on our website. I'm going to go ahead and go back here. This is our main page, ssa.gov, socialsecurity.gov. If you go to facts, FAQs right here, and if you type in spouses, children, and well, you don't even have to type it in because as you can see, it's a little box right here where it says spouses, children, and survivors. I'm going to go ahead and click here because these are our most frequently asked questions. Now it says spouses. What is eligibility for Social Security spouses benefits and my own retirement benefits? Survivors. Here, let me click more because I know Cassandra, you had a great question.
Okay, but you know what,
Mhm.
Josephine, I want to keep our guests. You know that's next month's class for you.
Oh,
Survivors benefit.
survivors.
Yes,
Yes,
so
yes. Okay, sounds good. We'll get
let
into
them
that
come
next
back.
week.
Yes.
Yes, we will let them come back. We'll talk more about that next time, but lots of great information on our website. So please feel free to visit our website. And we've got our My Social Security account. If you don't already have one, I encourage you to create a My Social Security account. If you create this account, you're going to be able to see all your earnings, what you worked and paid into Social Security. It's so important to make sure that your earnings are correct. These are the earnings that your employer sends to the IRS sends them to us, and they're posted. And so if there is a year that's missing or there's a discrepancy, if you keep checking your Social Security account or you look at it periodically or yearly, you're gonna be able to match that with your W-2s and match that information to make sure it's correct. And the reason why it's so important that it's correct is because Social Security uses the highest 35 years of our work earnings to calculate our monthly Social Security retirement benefit. So if there's a discrepancy, that's going to affect or impact what you're going to be receiving, and you will be able to fix it later on, but you want to make sure that you can catch that ASAP as soon as possible, because in order to correct that, we need documentation. And most of the time, if you can catch it quickly, you'll have that documentation ready to make those corrections. So it's important to monitor your earnings record to make sure it's correct. And the best way to do it is by creating a My Social Security account. Another great thing that you can do with your My Social Security account is if you are receiving benefits, you can print out a benefit verification letter to show how much you receive every month. You can update your address, bank information. You can request a replacement Social Security card. So there's so many things you can do online if you create your My Social Security account. And once you go click on create an account, you're going to see that this is going to come up this page right here. If you don't already have an account, I encourage you to go to this blue icon where it says sign in with login.gov. Click there, create your account. It's going to ask for your full name. It's going to ask for your driver's license information, your Social Security number, your birthday, your address, your cell phone number. Once you enter that information in, it's going to verify you and allow you to create a username and a password.
Now,
Now,
Josephine, you know that's another class you're doing for us as well.
yes, so we're going to talk about that, and I'll get more into that in that next class, so that
Yes.
way we can really dive deep, and we can show you step by step what you need to do to create that account. But if you don't already have one, I encourage you to check us out, go online, create one if you don't already have one. And if you want to wait for the next presentation to create it, please tune in next time, so that way we can go ahead and you can see a step-by-step guide on how to do that. But lots of things you can do online, and that's the most convenient way to do business with Social Security. And you can request a replacement Social Security card. This is something super cool. I will tell you, my husband, he lost his card, or he put it in a safe place. Not so much lost it, he put it in such a safe place in the house somewhere that he didn't remember where he put it, and I didn't know where he put it. So then he's asking me, how do I get a replacement card? He knows I work at Social Security, so he's like, how do I do it? How do I get a replacement card? I'm gonna go to the office, he's telling me. I'm like, no, you don't need to go to the office. You can go and create an account. And that's what he did. He created an account, and then he was able to request one by having that account. And this is the screen that he saw when he requested it. And he followed the prompts, put his information in, and I can attest that he did receive his Social Security card in the mail. He received it within 7 days. It was super quick, super easy, the best and most convenient way to do business with us. Of course, we understand that not everyone may have access to online services, or you may not be able to do that online, and that's okay. You can visit us. We are available. We are open. If you would like to come see us to make that request, you can certainly do that. Now, another thing that we always like to share when talking to people, talking to the public, talking to the community, is to be aware, be very vigilant, be aware. There are people out there calling individuals stating that they're Social Security representatives. However, they are not. The scammers are aggressive, they're threatening, they're telling you they're going to suspend your Social Security number. They're telling you that if you don't give them gift card numbers, or if you don't give them bank account information, that they're going to take legal action against you. That's not us. We would never do that. We're not aggressive, and we will not threaten you. So if you get a call like that, just hang up, and you can report the call at oig.ssa.gov, or you can call us to report that. So please be aware. We just want you to share this information with your friends, family members, loved ones, to don't give anyone your personal information over the phone. The only reason Social Security will call you is if you have current business with us, or you called us and you asked us to call you back. And even when we do that, we're not threatening, or we're not aggressive. And we won't, if you feel uncomfortable, and say it is us truly calling you and you don't feel comfortable, it's okay. You can give us a call at our number and let us know that you feel more comfortable calling us. So we just want you to know that we would never be aggressive, and we would never threaten you. And that is a red flag if somebody is aggressive and threatens you, and they say they're an employee, a Social Security employer. They are not, if they're aggressive and they're threatening you. So just hang up. And you can subscribe to our COVID-19 updates page. We have a COVID-19 updates page that anytime there is a change or an update, it will be on this page. And you can go ahead and subscribe by entering in your email or your cell phone number, and you'll get the alert to your cell phone or to your email if there's any changes or any updates. And of course, we have social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, lots of great information on all of our social media pages. So we wanted to share that with you today. I was talking to Cassandra a little bit earlier, and I was mentioning that we will be at the General Jones Armory on the east side of Chicago tomorrow. Social Security will have a table, so we'll have information, publications available for you if you'd like to come by. It's the Chicago Summer Stand Down for Veterans. It is there's going to be information for veterans, and you can visit us at, let me give you the location here. It's going to be 5200 South Cottage Grove, Chicago, Illinois. And it says to please bring your vet ID or DD 214 so that you can register. There's going to be food, services, and giveaways for homeless and in need flu shots, barbershop, vet center, housing, employment, healthcare, legal assistance. So lots of great information is going to be there. And if you can stop by, we will have a table, a Social Security table with lots of information. But thank you so much for having me here with you, Cassandra, for inviting me. And I'm excited about being here with you next month.
Yes, well, once again, thank you, Josephine, and we will be seeing you next month, July 27th, discussing spouse survivors benefit. And I just appreciate you. If you haven't gone to our website, and same for those that are on Facebook, go to our website, www.topflightdefenseinc.org, and subscribe for our newsletter. And then you can keep up on every class that we're going to have that month. And if it's your birthday, we give you birthday shout outs to all of the women. And we just say thank you. We thank you for your support and your kindness. We are also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well, and we have our YouTube channel. So if you did not get all of this class today, go to our YouTube channel, Top Flight Defense Inc., and you can see all of the classes that Miss Beautiful Josephine and Handsome Daniel conducted for us throughout the year. So until July, I thank you, Ms. Josephine. I thank you to those that are chiming in from Facebook. Okay, somebody got a question. Oh, can you receive Social Security if you are 90% disabled veteran and not 62?
Yeah, so in order to receive Social Security disability, you don't have to be 62. You can be any age as long as you have paid into Social Security enough FICA taxes to receive disability benefits. You may be eligible for those benefits. Now, if you are receiving benefits from the VA, you can let us know that your benefits, your application may be expedited, but a determination still needs to be made. So I encourage you to apply so that way a decision can be made on your case regarding your disability application. So you
Okay.
could be younger than 62. You can apply for disability as soon as you become disabled, and we encourage you to apply as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think we talked about that because I said I needed to talk to you about my application. So
Yes.
yes. All right. So I think that's it. We've got some thank yous here on Facebook. And I think that's about it. No one else has asked any questions. So once again, I thank you. If anything come up on here, I will shoot. Can you um, give out your email address if anybody have any questions, or do you want them to go directly to Social Security for questions?
Yeah, I would encourage everyone here to visit our website, call our National Social Security hotline, 1-800-772-1213, because we have lots of representatives that are available to assist you. So that's why we encourage you to contact that 1-800 number, and that's 1-800-772-1213. And of course, if somebody has a question, Miss Cassandra, if they can send you an email, and then I can go ahead and reach out if they're having a hard time getting through to our local offices. But we do encourage people to contact their offices first, or contact the 1-800 number if you are having a hard time or challenges getting in touch with our local offices or with the 1-800 number. Then Miss Cassandra, if they send you an email, you can go ahead and get me involved, and then at that point I can step in and I can assist if the person is having a hard time getting through to our offices.
Okay, and then my email address is founder, FOUNDER, at topflightdefenseinc.org. Once again, my email address is founder at topflightdefenseinc.org. Send me an email and I'll respond within 48 hours. Sometimes it'll be before then. All right, well, thank you, Josephine. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Twitter. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you to everyone, and we will see you next month.
Thank you, viewers. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, hold on.